everybody on YouTube? It's your boy, the Memphis XLR8, back at you another episode of Check This Out. The show we take a look at whatever deck we want to take a look at, be a control deck, rogue deck, meta deck, casual deck, take it out on EDO, Pro, the Wild West of Yu-Gi-Oh! And we have ourselves a good time. Today, everybody, we're taking a look at a Melodious Diva deck, a Melodious Control deck. We're trying to turbo out the Bloom Harmonist, not too difficult to defeat, just needs 2 fairies, using our Melodious Divas, and then we go ahead and use the power of the Lair of Darkness in order to just completely interrupt all of our opponent's plays before they can make them, and then just go for some sweet, sweet beatdown that our opponents can't do much about. So, we got ourselves a deck here today. We'll be taking out an EDO Pro, showing it off, showing you how it works, show the wombos and the combos. So real quick, I go over the cards we're using, and then get right into the duels. So for our main deck today, we are playing 1 copy of Elegy the Melodious Diva, 3 copies of Arm of the Wicked Boy, 2 copies of Ari the Melodious Diva, 3 copies of Canon the Melodious Diva, 1 Soprano the Melodious Songstress, 3 copies of Sonata the Melodious Diva, 1 Ass Blossom, 3 Score the Melodious Diva. We have Terraforming, 3 Pots of Prosperity, 1 copy of Call by the Grave, triple Crossout Designator, triple Lair of Darkness, and Impermanence, 2 copies of Ice Dragon's Prison, 3 Torrential, 3 Ballista, and 3 Dogmatic Punishment. As for the extra deck, most important thing is we have 3 copies of Bloom Harmonist. The rest of the cards are just text, mainly for punishment. We have 1 copy of Boral Code Dragon, 1 Topological Zeraboros, 1 copy of Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. The thing gets crazy. Mud Dragon is left over from the Super Poly build I originally had, but I left them in here for good luck. We have 3 copies of Natis, 1 copy of Bloom Diva the Melodious Choir, double Fossil Warrior Skullboy, 1 Shuberta, and a Lunalite Saber Dancer for flavor. As for the side deck, if your opponent's playing Nibiru and you don't want to get Nibiru'd, throw in a copy of Nibiru. You can stop it with Cross-Eyed Designator. We have things like Lord of the Heavenly Prison. We do have a lot of traps. If you want to go even heavier with the traps, I'd recommend a copy or 2 of this guy just to plus off playing your trap cards. Another Elegy if you find like you're decking, top decking into Elegy too often. You don't want to have it in your hand if it can help it, so if you got another copy, that's all well and good. If you want to plus more off your extra deck dumping, some Dogmaticas are good, although I'm planning to make a Dogmatica deck soon that will plus off this even better. You're not honest, but you really don't, well, honestly, you don't need it, because Score works just as well. So you don't need Honest or Dark Honest in this deck, but if you felt like another hand trap, Honest and or Dark Honest, maybe a copy of each, depends on how you want to play it. The Agent of Venus and its destructive version was part of a deck that, honestly, was a little more Agent than it was Bloom Divas, so I didn't go with that version, but if you really want to wombo the combos, and also make Bloom Harmonist on top of it all, go right ahead, but you could run into some bricks here and there for that one. Also, the Pot of Extravagance, which can replace Prosperity if you feel like you need more draws over just searching 1 card. Although you do like your extra deck for the most part, so run at your own discretion. Same thing with Super Poly and Forbidden Lance. Lance just here to stop things like Imperm. Not as important because we have Cross Out. And Super Poly is just nice to fuse with your opponent's monsters. But it got a little bricky for some reason, so I took that one out. As well as Eradicator Epidermic Virus, a great card to tech in with a Lair if the opponent summons a big monster first and then uses their spells, but requires your opponent to first make a big monster and then use all their spells, so really depends on what your opponent's playing, that one. And lastly, you have Alternate Slay, which is a newer card, which just lets me ditch a card from my extra deck to the grave to shuffle a monster of the same type into the deck that my opponent controls. So if your opponent's playing Link Spam or a bunch of fusions, this can be rather useful. But very situational useful, but useful nonetheless. So, if that's the deck we'll be using today, let's go ahead into EDO Pro now, show this deck off, show you how it works, show you the combos, and we'll have such a good time. Alright, here our first opponent, another day, another card game. I wish I got it for Rock. Yeah, our deck, we like to go first, we like to set up a board. We can still set up our board depending on what this guy's doing, obviously. It could be good, could be bad. It all depends. All I really need is a Melodious Diva. Specifically, I'd like either Canon or Sonata so I can do stuff with those. But if I can do that, I should be okay barring this guy playing Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. We'll see how it is. Good old Cyberdarks. Yeah, there's some Cyberdragons in here for sure. Is what it is. What can you say? Cyberdragons and Cyberdarks go together like PB and J. So, we'll let our opponent do his thing. I mean, there's nothing I can do to stop him from doing his thing, but I can pretend like there's stuff I can do to stop his things. On our deck, the whole idea of what we do is, you know, you summon out a Melodious Diva, you special summon one of the special summonables, and then you go for the Lair of Darkness, which we already have, so I don't need to waste it. And it gives me another option for Arima here, actually, so we'll start with a pot that is for prosperity's sake. You know, we have a lot of an extra deck, and, you know, we're just going to have to use, so we're just going to go ahead and banish some of the stuff that we're not going to need right now. Some of these extra deck things are actually for a future deck I'm planning, which we're not using today, but, you know, they'll be more obvious in the future. What is this doing? Okay. That's a thing. I don't know what he did, but, okay, it made itself bigger. I can do that, too. I could do that, too. Alright, well, okay, so my opponent's got a big old monster. I'm not really that impressed, to be honest. But, you know, we'll show off what we can do. We're going to special summon Canon, and we have Score. So we're going to summon our Bloom Harmonist, and we're going to use her special ability. I can discard a card from my hand, and I'm going to go ahead and discard Arima because I already have the Lair. And we're going to summon our two most important monsters. We shall summon Aria, and where's Elegy? Elegy. We summon these to these zones. Make sure your middle zone is always unoccupied. And now we have both these special summoned. All of our Melodious monsters can't be targeted, destroyed, or destroyed in battle. It's pretty brutal. On top of that, we'll just make everything dark. If this guy needed light monsters, well, he's out of luck. And we'll end our turn right there. So, this is the idea of the deck. We summon out our monsters. My opponent can't target or destroy me with stuff. And we pretty much run them over from there. You see, while my Harmonist points to these monsters, if they attack, my opponent can't do anything. Can't use no effects, can't do nothing of the sort. So, the question is, destroy a card upon controls. Alrighty. Well, might as well use Ballista Squad now. Can I destroy this now? We'll go ahead and destroy Invasion. I don't think that's going to save my Lair of Darkness, but I can try. Oh, he targeted the Ballista Squad. Even better. Even better indeed. Alrighty, so my opponent, he tried to get rid of my traps. Unfortunately for him, he should have gone for the field spell. A field spell would have crippled me a little bit harder. So he's got his Cyberdragon, and he's got the Claw. This lets him get a Cyberdark spell trap, and that'll get him Cyberdark Impact. So the question for me is, okay, those are machines. Okay. So he can summon out the OG Cyberdark Dragon, which is cool and all. I like that. That's cool. He's big. He's a big boy, but luckily for me, he's a machine. So I can play my Ice Dragon's Prison. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm actually gonna steal this thing. So I'm gonna summon out his Doohickey and banish them both. Ice Dragon's Prison, very effective against decks that have all the same type, which not all decks nowadays do, but a lot of them do. So now my opponent's up a bit of a trick. He will go for the Mega Fleet. Little unfortunate because I can't beat over it, but he can't beat over me either. So now all I really need to do is get one of my traps to get rid of this thing. Or barring that in perm, one or the other. But we're pretty set. I mean, he can't target me, can't destroy me, can't do a lot of things. He does get this spiffy token, though. I should mention, because I tributed on his turn. Ooh, Torrential. That'll get rid of him real good. You see, because of, not Aria, because of Elegy, I can't be destroyed by card effects. So I can't be destroyed by my own card effects, meaning I can Torrential, and I'll be fine. He will not be very fine. He will be very dead. That's why I threw it in there. It's a very nice deck for this situation. See, I set out for a goal. My goal was to do something different with Melodious, because a lot of Melodious Diva plays nowadays are just, you know, summon out, well, summon these two. That's like automatic thing you do with Melodious Divas, and then go for the fusions to do damage. But I wanted to do something just a little bit different. So let's go ahead and set another card. I don't want him to keep this token, just in case he makes, like... Well, actually, no. If he had Phoenix, he probably would have made it, but I guess maybe not. But we'll be good. We're good. We're in complete control of the situation. My opponent tried to beat into me, but I said nay. And now he got called by the grave, so no rampant searching there. If he tries to do a Cyberdark, we're all good. And yeah, he'll get to poke me for a hundo. I can't stop the damage, sadly. But it's okay. I still can't be destroyed by stuff. Alright. Be nice if I could summon my own monster, actually. That way I can just blow stuff up now. Although, to be honest, I'd like to make another Harmonist right now, but I can't do that. Ooh, hey, Ash Blossom. You're just what I was looking for. Some might call it a waste. I disagree. Ha! There we go. So, as you can see, the board is clear. The way is open. Let's run our opponent over. Run them over. What can he do to stop this? Not much. And even if he gets a Cyberdark, I can just banish whatever he tries to fuse with. Or not fuse, but equip to himself. Alrighty, we are pretty set. And I could go for... Well, I don't have another Bloom Harmonist right now because I banished two of them. So, we're pretty much stuck with these two right now. That's the one thing about Melodious Divas. They don't really have much past this. I wish they did have more, but they don't. Yes, thank you. No Eldelichis for you. None of this. None of that. Again, surprised he didn't try to go for Lair, but... I don't know, maybe my opponent just does not respect my Lair of Darkness. He doesn't respect my gangster, and he's gonna have to pay for that. Ooh, more Torrential. My opponent is... He's trying his hardest. I'll give my opponent that much. He's trying his dang hardest. You know, he's trying real hard to find some out to what I'm doing. It's just that my deck is able to control the board. I'm able to be in control and keep in control. So, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I still have a Torrential. He doesn't have his Eldelichi boy. Even if he draws into one, he doesn't have anything else in his hand, and that'll be game. So, you get an idea of how this deck works. You summon these two, use your traps to control the flow. You try to keep your Harmonist on the board, but that was one of those situations where I had nothing to stop him from getting rid of Harmonist on the board. So, it is what it is. But we get the idea of the deck. You get to see how it works. Let's go ahead for duel number 2 and show off the deck against other decks. It's going to be a lot of the samey stuff, but I want to show the deck off against other things. Alright, a second opponent. Let's go and do it again. This time we get to go first, which was what we want to do. Opening hand is perfectly acceptable. Let's start with Arima, just to ban any Ash Blossoms, things like that. None detected, but you gotta make sure. So we'll start out with Score, the Melodious Diva. Summon out good old Canon. He's got something. Don't know what the something is, but he's got something. I should hedge my bets. I'm going to activate Pot of Prosperity. I'm a little nervous about potential negats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and... yeah, 6. The dogmatic version will use the Saber Dancer, I swear. I've got a plan for the next... You see, when I was making the action deck, a lot of things came through my mind. Different things I could do. But then I'm like... there's only one thing I really need to do. And that one thing I need to do is make Bloom Harmonist. But, you know, they gave me the idea, you know, Dogmaticas, they could do some stuff. They dump Fusion, or not, they dump any extra deck monster, and there's like so many other things they can do that people just don't do. And he gave me some ideas. And I really want to try out some of those ideas. Oh, there's the Imperm. I was about to say, so what is this? Rescue Ace Air Hoister. I see, so I get nothing. Gotcha. So these... I don't think the attribute matters, but I'll play the Lair of Darkness anyway. An unfortunate situation indeed. I was afraid of the Imperm. I was trying to dig into my cross-at designator, but... unfortunately didn't draw into the darn thing. Would have been nice, for sure. But, c'est la vie. Sometimes you get the perfect combo off, sometimes you don't. We were close. I mean, I still got my punishment. I can at the very least do something. I just don't know enough about this archetype to know what I'm supposed to do against it. Like, I know a little bit about the Fire Ace thingamawhat's-it deck, but not a lot. Let me think about this. Go for punishment, I suppose. And we'll ditch a Natis. Sorry, Natis, you're only going to get pop one card this time around. This time around, just the one. Okay. That doesn't do anything. See, the thing about Harmonist is she's kind of one and done. Because she doesn't get to, like, discard a card every turn to summon monsters. It's only when she's Link summoned. And as you can see, I have no hand. So it's not like I'm going to be getting a lot of stuff anytime soon. Alright, what do we got? Another Aria. Let's hope he can't summon next turn. If he can't, I have a potential to come back from this. All I need to do is draw one more card I can discard, and I'll be golden. And he didn't do anything, so you have to imagine he either has nothing or something. I don't know. Maybe he's got something and he's trying to lure me to a false sense of security. I don't have any other options right now. Where the hell were you a minute ago? I don't know. But we're just going to go for it. We're just going to go for it. You know, unlike some control decks, we don't hide behind too much. I mean, we hold behind the traps. But we don't hide nothing else. So, there you go. I don't know what to say about that one. That was really my opponent misplaying, to be honest. If he had held the Imperm, he would have been just fine. I couldn't have stopped the Imperm and done my combo at the same time. So, I'm still going to call the win because my opponent made a misplay and he rage quitted to it. But we'll do a bonus duel. I don't know if we have time for a bonus duel, but we got time for one more duel at the very least. So let's go ahead for the third opponent. Hopefully our opponent will not rage quit like baby. Be strong like Cyberdark, man. That man had balls. I want to crush somebody else's balls. So let's go for duel 3 and crush some balls. Alright, our third opponent of the day. Getting to go first again, which is always good. Opening hand, a little rough, but actually not terrible. Nice thing about Sonata is I can special summon Sonata even if Sonata is on the board. Some other monsters of the similar stripe don't let you do that, but Sonata does. So, we'll do as we do. Bloom Harmonist, hey yo. Please don't imperm me, thank you, I appreciate it. So, one audio, we always be very careful while doing this. I don't want to summon the wrong creature. So we'll summon out our Gruesome Twosome. Go for Lair, if this guy requires attributes, he's in trouble now. And one Dogmatic Punishment. We'll see where it goes. Really annoying that I gotta keep clicking this Lair of Darkness. That's the one annoying thing about Lair on EDO Pro, is that you gotta keep clicking the darn thing. It's not like an automatic, your opponent gets the things. You gotta keep clicking it. Gotta keep clicking. So, we got ourselves our board. I'll say the deck, it's working out. I'm glad I didn't overcomplicate. I was very close to overcomplicating this whole thing. I had Agent of Creation Venus bringing out the balls. I had Dogmaticas in here. Like, I threw all this stuff in a pile, and I was like, how do I make it work? And then I'm like, it's too much. Just focus on the basics. That's what I wanted to do. Focus on the basics. And look at this guy. He's got like a whole bunch of back row. It's a lot of back row. But the secret to our success is that so long as I don't attack with the composer, I'm golden. Because he can't do anything when I attack with these monsters. He can't play any traps of any variety. No monster effects, no spells, no nothing. And this is good, because there are things like Storming Mirror Force or Drowning Mirror Force that can completely ruin your day. So you never want to attack with Harmonist unless you're really, really, really sure that it will work. So just don't attack unless it's like game, basically. So, we're pretty thin. I mean, I can do more than 4,000 damage in a turn. If he has no monsters, he's pretty screwed. And I have my hand trap, good old score of the Melodious Divas. Their own personal hand trap. It's basically just Dark Honest, but for Melodious Divas. Just makes some opponent's monsters attack 0. What is this? Exorsister. Choose an Exorsister from the deck. Take an Exorsister from the deck that mentions that monster. Summon them both. Shuffle the deck to the end phase. Does that even count as a cost? Considering they have the same level? Control Exorcister, draw 1 card. Control Exorcister Irene. Gain life points. Do I want to stop this? I guess I'll let it through at the moment. I mean, like, what's the worst he can do to me? Like, legitimate question. What is the worst he can do to me right now? Possibly a lot. We'll find out. I mean, he can't affect my monsters. I can't be targeted or destroyed by things. So it's not like I'm, like, worried or anything. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Control this card. Execute something using an Exorsister. Target a card, opponent controls, banish it. Attach material, add an Exorsister spell trap. Okay. That's fine. I don't care. That I will care about. He was going to hit... Well, if he's going to hit my trap anyway, I might as well. Might as well. I don't need my extra deck anyway. Not that I have my thing. So we'll ditch... This back row doesn't really affect me right now. And this is a cool card if he summons something, but granted, how... Exorcisters don't have a 3,000 beat stick, do they? Yeah, and it is a smart... See, when I was making... No, I was just looking for stuff I could throw into this extra deck. So Boral Code actually has a really cool effect that I'd never heard of, because I never looked at this card, is that if your opponent, or just anybody, has a Dark Monster, 3,000 or more attack, I can tribute it, and then... or banishes a monster from the field. Oh, wait, that doesn't work, does it? I was thinking that worked with Lair. I'm glad I found that interesting. I see. I see. So I lose... Oh, Natister, no, but now. Okay, so I misread this one. It says banish a card, not tribute. Meh. Still a cool dude. And it can still work for the dogmatic version. I just have to, like, be smarter about it. Alright, so the question for me now is, what exactly is he going to do? I mean, he already tried the one thing. Can he do another thing? I presume so. Exorcist is one of those archetypes I've never really looked at. It's like, they're very reliant on the opponent doing stuff in their graveyard. And while a lot of decks will do that, you really gotta go first to capitalize on that with Exorcistas. So what is he doing now? Neither player can summon from the graveyard. Detach material, add an Exorcist or monster. Okay. Control an Exorcist or monster, you can summon this card from the hand. If you have Stella, and that's Stella, yep. So this is the part where my opponent just summons a whole bunch of Exceeds, I would presume. Or something to that effect. And plus he's gaining his life points back, which I just don't appreciate, because I worked very hard to get rid of those life points. I'm just saying I worked real hard to reduce this guy's life points. Look at all those restrictions on you. Only Exorcisters. Alright, who's summoning now? Asphodel. What does this do? Neither player can enter cards effects in the grave. Detach material target monster opponent controls return to the hand. Okay, well that does bupkis to me. What does this do? Face a monster, level. Add a card attached to it to the hand. What are you up to, Exorsister? Okay, you get back Stella. Cool. Cool. And then you detach your other materials, summoning this thing. I mean, I'll give you credit. It's really large and in charge, but what does it do? Banish a card upon control. Oh. I see. It just like non-targeted banishes my stuff. That is rather annoying. I'll give him that much. But I still have score. So your attack goes to Bupkis. Bupkis, I tell you. So the question is, can he do anything else? Because if he can't, he loses, basically. Because I can just attack with Elegy, and that's going to be a game. And I have a Ballista squad, so all's good. So let's attack with our Elegy for game. Alright. My opponent, they gave us some good back and forth. I'll give him that much. He was able to do some back and forth. And he did have one of those bits that could just stay up, stop Arya. But it didn't matter, because scored the goal. That's the joke we're going for. She scored the goal! Goal! There you go. Alright, so let's go ahead for the end screen. We showed off most of what this deck is capable of doing. Let's go for the end screen, talk more about it. Alrighty, everybody, the Lair of the Melodious Divas. We'll call it 3-0. Little asterisk there, because honestly, the second opponent really could have beaten us if he just not been a dum-dum. But sometimes you win, and sometimes your opponent makes really dumb mistakes that you capitalize on and run them over. It's a very straightforward deck we have. Melodious Divas don't do a lot of giant combos. They're not like a 20-minute turn sort of deck. But, you know, when they get their thing going, the little defensive wall here, they can do some serious damage, especially thanks to their Bloom Harmonist. Just turning them essentially into Ancient Gears, well, not Ancient Gears, but Armades on legs. She's Armades on, she is the legs of Armades. That's what she is. So, that's our deck today. We were able to do what we wanted to do. We summoned out our monsters, we set up the lair, we started using our traps to annoy our opponent to death. I call it a good day. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, let me know. Smack that like button to let me know that you enjoyed this deck. All that good stuff. And I know I've been slow on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Recently because I've been doing other stuff. I'm going to do one more Yu-Gi-Oh! Video this week. I'm going to be doing some, I want to do the Dogmaticas, but I need more time. Let's do for hires. That's nice and fun and, you know, simple deck. They do have new support. I don't remember what it does. It's like this. That's a thing. So I'll definitely have to look at for hires this week. So, again, thanks for watching, everybody. Your boy Memphis is signing out for now. Till next time, y'all stay safe, stay happy, and I'll see you next time. Peace.